Ricardo Tolentino being part of the audience with Vanessa and her dad.
Hi, my name is Vanessa. This is my dad, Mario.
Hello, my name is Finot, and my speech is on GMOs. The scientific study of genes began in the early 1800s when Mendel started crossing garden peas and introduced the concept of genes and hereditary. Later, DNA was given the molecular shape of a double helix, which introduced us into gene splicing, and we were able to modify different organisms. In 1946, DNA was able to be transferred between organisms. And then in the 1980s, the US Supreme Court ruled that scientists could patent bacteria and were genetically engineering to break down crude oil. That's when ownership rights over GMOs, giving companies the incentive to rapidly develop for profit and to also better human life. In the 1980s, the flower salad tomato was the first food crop to be introduced. These tomatoes had a DNA sequence that was modified, delaying the ripening and providing a longer shelf life. That's when Monsanto started field trials, introducing more hybrid crops and crops resisting to Roundup. And this is a pesticide that destroys weeds and other insects, but the crop continues to flourish and has no effect. This allowed the crops to survive and put the genes of the bacteria into the crops, but that was concerning to people. But the bacteria found in the soil was the most harmless to humans and animals. It was destroyed within seconds inside the human body system. And also, it has been concerning of allergies, of what could happen with GMOs and allergies. But scientists are able to silence the genetic component that causes allergies, reducing death rates that come from allergies. Because of the constant fear of bee crops, food companies are exposing the environment and humans to highly contaminating toxins. A study showed in Iowa University showed that BT crops reduced fumation by 80%. One popular fast food restaurant, Chipotle, in 2013 was one of the first ones to promote non-GMO foods with integrity. Labeling wasn't required. Now it's starting to be more required, and it's actually lowering fear from consumers and changing their attitude. Because of the bacteria-resistant crops, people feared that it would lead to diseases, but in fact, comparison done between the US, which consumed bee crops, and the UK, there was no specific health issue. The environment continues to change, and bee crops are not the cause. In fact, they reduce the use of pesticides and fumigation, lowering pollution rates. A study done at the University of Vermont revealed simple disclosure improved consumers towards GMOs. And GMOs also provide benefits in addressing health problems like lack in micronutrients and sustaining farming, like the rice is now able to sustain floods. And the sweet potato is enhanced with protein. Golden rice provides vitamin A, and in third world countries, scientists are developing foods that are resistant to viruses that are contaminating their crops. So it's helping with malnutrition. So bee crops were not designed to add to human problems. They strive to improve the quality of our lives by reducing harmful compounds like carcinogens. Moreover, bee crops not only protect humans, they protect the environment. There's fear as well, but in the near future, we will be able to have more evidence and educate more people. We can't stop evolution from happening. It continues to happen. And the UN reported that in 2050, humans will need to produce 70% more food. And by having GE crops, this will solve